Today on the CTV News at 5, a 9-year-old boy drowns in a dugout on his family farm. Plus, we could be paying more for auto insurance. And the impact low wages have on communities.
CTV News with Jackie Scantlebury.
Good afternoon. A 9-year-old boy has died after drowning in a dugout near Vauxhall. It happened around 5:30 last night on the family farm. The area was fenced off, but the boy snuck through. Daryl Rummel reports.
The news of Tuesday's drowning has spread quickly through this small town of roughly 1,200 people. At the post office, it's been met with shock and dismay.
Oh, I was shocked. I was just glad it wasn't my kid. But I feel so sorry for the parents.
That is very shocking and very sad. Something that I would never have suspected around here. But accidents do happen in families. My sympathy goes out to them.
Police say a 9-year-old boy and his 12-year-old brother were playing on their family farm north of Vauxhall. The pair went to a dugout on their property in search of water to pour down gopher holes when the youngest fell in, got trapped, and drowned.
But I can only imagine that they're going to be shaken up. It's a 9-year-old child. Losing a child at any age is not easy, especially something so unexpected and tragic as a drowning.
RCMP aren't releasing the farm's location, but say there was a fence surrounding the body of water, with spacing just enough so that the young boys were able to slip through. Police say this is a harsh way to bring about a message of safety around bodies of water.
Like these parents had, try and warn your children about water safety and not to go into unknown bodies of water, any open water, especially if you can't swim.
Ashley Fox lives on a farm with a dugout just outside of town. For her, the news hits pretty close to home.
It shows that I've really got to show my kids to stay away from the dugout and really try to prevent them from going out there.
CTV News has learned that the family was from the Low German-speaking Mennonite community and had only moved to the area 2 or 3 weeks prior. Police say victim services has been brought in to help friends and family cope with this unthinkable tragedy. Daryl Rummel, CTV News, Vauxhall.
The name of the child will not be released, and police say there are no charges pending in the case. A 24-year-old man is in hospital with non-life-threatening injuries after surviving a collision with a train. The mishap happened at 2 a.m. near 28th Street and Crow's Nest Trail in Lethbridge, where the CP rail tracks cross the highway. Police say a vehicle was traveling at a high rate of speed when it hit the stationary train. The investigation is continuing, but police say that alcohol and excessive speed appear to have been factors. And for the third time in the past couple of weeks, a vehicle has crashed into a Medicine Hat building. Yesterday afternoon, a 16-year-old girl driving with her learner's permit accidentally hit the gas pedal instead of the brakes and drove into the Pennington store. No one was hurt. Damage, though, was pegged at around $20,000. Vehicles have also recently been driven into the Crossroads Liquor Store and Cypress View Vet Clinic. Of course, a Tabor man also died Monday after crashing his vehicle into Tabor Hospital after driving himself there to get medical help. A 28-year-old man has lost part of a finger in a fight in downtown Lethbridge. It happened last night. There was an altercation between two men. One man bit the other man, severing his pinky finger at the first knuckle. The 30-year-old victim was treated at the Chinook Regional Hospital. 28-year-old Russell Gale Goodrider of Lethbridge will appear in court Friday on charges of assault causing bodily harm and breaching conditions of his release. A little rainy, Dory Rossiter, but sunshine is on the way for the weekend.
Yeah, that's right. We just have to get through this spell. This is a break off of the low pressure center that was giving heavy rainfall to the Caribou area in BC yesterday, and it's kind of picked up a little bit of jazz as it's crossed the border, picked up a little bit of power. So we're seeing that evident on this side of the continental divide in the terms of cloud cover and some spotty shower activity. Expecting more of that overnight tonight and a chance tomorrow. But as we head towards the weekend, I'll show you the 5-day forecast. All is not lost. I'll have more details.
We will look forward to that. Thanks, Dory. Well, the province's insurance regulator says Albertans better buckle up. Insurance rates are expected to rise come November. Auto insurance companies in Alberta are asking for a rate hike of up to 13%. At a public meeting in Calgary, regulators were asked to approve a double-digit increase in rates for basic coverage. So that applies to things like third-party liability and accident benefits. A 13% hike in basic premiums would cost the average driver close to $70 more a year. The industry claims that costs have gone up and premiums haven't increased in the last few years. A final decision is expected by August 1st. 1 in 4 workers in Alberta is making less than $15 an hour, and the majority of them are women. Public Interest Alberta released the stats today. There are about 400,000 Albertans earning less than $15 an hour, and the largest percentage of those are women between the ages of 25 and 44. Lethbridge is also above the provincial average when it comes to low-wage workers. Women's Space has programs to work with women to try and teach them how to manage their money and survive off their low wages. The organization says despite their best efforts, many women have to turn to other agencies like food banks for help.
In Lethbridge, it's interesting because we think it's a small city and we think that it doesn't cost that much to live here, and it isn't if you're frugal and if you're careful and all of those great things, just like in any other city. But at the end of the day, you still have to pay rent. So what we're seeing here is that a lot of people are being forced into probably housing situations that they wouldn't normally accept. And we also see a lot of people making choices that maybe aren't the healthiest choices because of their limited income.
It means that you are just compromised on your quality of life. You are spending most of your income just on getting by. And if you're trying to raise a family or go to school, anything like that, it is very hard to get by with the cost of living these days.
Lethbridge's LDS Church is opening a new welfare services complex in the city. The building, located on West Hill Boulevard in southeast Lethbridge, includes a storehouse, home storage center, a family services area, and LDS employment services. The storehouse provides food and other household goods for the poor and needy in the Mormon community, but it also distributes material for emergency relief assistance during major disasters like the Japan earthquake and Slave Lake fire. The center is manned by volunteers.
There is definitely a big need for these kinds of services. We have tough economic times out there right now. We have a lot of pressure on families, and so facilities like this and programs that run from these kinds of facilities are very much needed.
Primarily we are volunteer driven, and it's a great opportunity to be able to serve shoulder to shoulder with volunteers who are like-minded and just want to give of their time and efforts in helping those who may be in need.
Well, some services are specifically for those in the LDS community, others are not. The official dedication of the complex will take place this weekend, but there is an opportunity for the general public to tour the facility as well. An open house will be held from 2 until 8 tomorrow and Friday. Everyone's invited to attend. It's taken a week to contain an oil spill that leaked into the Alberta River system. The company, Plains Midstream Canada, is now in the process of cleaning it up and trying to determine exactly what happened, but the long-term impact remains unknown. Janet Dirks has the latest.
Days after a pipeline leaked in central Alberta, crews continue to mop up the oil. Nearly 500,000 liters of light sour crude. The company that owns the pipeline, Plains Midstream Canada, has apologized.
We want to assure residents and landowners that we'll do the right thing and address the impacts of this release with them.
The company says it has not been able to find the exact spot where the 50-year-old pipe broke under the Red Deer River. Until it does, it can't be repaired, and the line will remain shut down. Provincial officials insist there is no harm to community water supplies.
We've repeatedly said the spill has been contained.
The mayor of Red Deer toured the spill zone and is optimistic it will be cleaned up within the next few months.
I was anticipating it to be way worse than it was.
This is an area rich with wildlife, but the company says it has confirmation of only one casualty, a goose that was treated and later released. Yet there are other victims, like this baby beaver. It's being treated at a nearby wildlife rehab center after it was discovered covered in oil.
We had to get it off really quickly because these are animals that preen a lot, so if he was preening, he would get it all inside his system.
It's the long-term damage that worries environmentalist David Suzuki.
When you spill oil into that river, how do you mitigate that? Like, what do you do with that? It has ecological consequences that will be around for years.
The incident is under investigation, as is the company's last spill of more than a year ago, when 28,000 barrels of crude leaked out of a cracked pipeline in northern Alberta, one of the largest spills in the province's history. Janet Dirks, CTV News, near Sundre, Alberta.
Well, you can expect to see more trees at Henderson Lake Park thanks to one Lethbridge family. Students from General Stewart Elementary School helped entertain the crowd at a tree planting ceremony at Henderson Lake Park today. For the past 25 years, the Mattiotti family have donated hundreds of trees to the park. The family was unable to attend today, but city officials and students were on hand for the event. For the students, it's a chance to do something good for the environment.
They have always included us as part of that ceremony, I guess because our school is very close to the park, and we've always had a very vibrant music program at our school, and we enjoy coming over and lending some music to the ceremony.
And on the markets today, it was a good day for the TSX, but that was about it. Here are the financial numbers for the day.